Somehow I lost my eBay account and I lost all my inventory. This is exactly what I would do to get started again. Really quick, my name is Johnny and I have this TikTok page right here called Hustle to Resell, where I post videos teaching people on how to sell on eBay. And I've been selling for about 3.5 years and I've sold over 5,000 items on eBay. So I kind of know what I'm talking about. The things that you need to get started is very obvious. You're going to either need a phone, whether it's an Android or an iPhone, or you are going to need a computer. Once you have that, you're going to have to download the eBay app on your phone, and that is going to be very, very necessary. As a matter of fact, if you don't have a computer, you can fully run your eBay business through your phone without having to ever touch the computer, but I'll get into that a little bit more later on in this video. The second thing you guys need is some shipping supplies, because this is going to make it a lot easier, because once you sell an item, you already have those supplies and you can ship your orders on time. I will link everything you need in the description, and I will make it as cheap as possible, because in the beginning, you don't need to go all crazy and buy all these things, because to be honest, you don't need that much. You just need something to get you going. First thing you guys are gonna need is some poly mailer bags. I'm gonna list 2 different sizes in the description. That should get you started. And then the second thing is going to be a scale, because you gotta weigh your packages. I actually started with a food scale when I first started, and it was about like $15. So I will tag that in the description. And the last thing that you don't need it, but it's nice to have because it'll save you a lot of time. It's a thermal label printer, and I will also tag that in the description for you guys to check it out. So all in all, so far, your startup cost will be about $80. Once you have those supplies ordered and ready to go, this is where you're gonna go into the next step, which is creating your eBay account. Now, you can do this 2 different ways. If you already have an account that you've been using for the past few months or the past few years just as a buyer, I highly recommend you stick to that account and you just turn it into a seller account, because you already have history with them, and eBay likes it when you have history with them, so they'll trust you as a new seller. And if you don't have an old account, you can just open a new one, but just keep in mind that it might take you a little bit longer to build trust with eBay and your customers, because you're gonna have 0 feedback. 2 important things that you gotta do when you make the account is, number 1 is add your personal information, because eBay will send you a 1099 of all your sales throughout the year. That way you can do your taxes. And number 2 is going to add your bank account. That way eBay knows where to pay you when you make a sale. And now we get into the fun part of this business. Now, this part is gonna be different for everybody, just because what works for me might not work for you, but it's worth a try. So where do you get your inventory from? There's actually many places where you can actually buy items to resell on eBay. And the first place where I would recommend, if you don't have a big budget, is looking around your house for items that you're not using anymore. For example, like video game stuff, maybe some toys, collectibles, books, anything that could have some sort of value. You can look it up on eBay, see if it has a good sell-through rate, if it sells for a pretty good amount of money, and then you can list those up. And if you went around your house and you completely don't have anything that you can resell online, then you can go to thrift stores, you can go to pawn shops, you can go to estate sales, you can go to, garage sales, anything where you can find items for cheap and be able to sell them online. And this is going to be different for everybody. I like going to pawn shops and yard sales, but my number 1 place to go sourcing for my items is at the Goodwill bins, just because I pay very little for my items and I can be very profitable. I also know other resellers in my area that for some reason it just doesn't work out for them at the Goodwill bins, so they have other places where they got to source. So you got to think about and go try out those places, like all those different places, and try them out about like 2-3 times each and really figure out which one's going to work out best for you. The question I get asked a lot is, what should I be on the lookout for? And to be honest, once again, there's really no right answer. What I always recommend is that you start with something that you already have some knowledge in, or something that you're going to enjoy doing research on. Because the truth is, you're going to be doing research on every single item that you pick up before you buy them at the thrift stores or wherever you get them from. Otherwise, you'll end up with a garage full of items that are never going to sell. I still look up 99% of my items, only because something that I sold 6 months ago might not be worth the same nowadays, because the markets change all the time. Something very important to keep in mind to help you decide if you should pick up an item to resell on eBay is to always check the sell-through rate of that item. And a very simple way to check that is just go to your eBay app, look up that item that you're about to sell, go to filters, and then check the sold item tab, and it'll show you how many items have sold in the past 90 days. You take that number and then you divide it by the amount of items that are listed, and then you multiply it by 100, and that will give you a percentage of the sell-through rate. What works for me is anything over a 35% sell-through rate is good enough for me, but it really just depends on you. If you don't have enough storage in your house or wherever you're going to keep your items, then stick with anything like over, let's say, 80% sell-through rate, because the higher that number is, the faster you are going to sell that item. Quick, can you like that button just to let me know that you're actually enjoying this content? And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, because I will be posting a new video every Wednesday. Now you have your shipping supplies, you created your account, you sourced a couple items. Now it's time for you to list the items. So I'm going to show you guys really quick how I list my items, and it's something that I've been doing for the past 4 years, and it seems to work fine for me. So let's just say that I found this Star Wars Lego set. So I will go to eBay app and I will type in Lego Star Wars, and I would type in the model number that it comes with it. So it'll be 75160. And once I get my search results, I'm going to go to the sold listings, and then I'm going to find one that is similar to the one I'm about to sell. and then I just open it up, and then right on top is going to say sell one like this. Once you do that, a whole listing thing is going to open up for you, and all you really got to do is add your pictures, add the condition of the item, so if it's a used one or a new one, and then you're going to put your price and you're going to put the shipping. The shipping part is one of the things that people struggle the most, so if you guys want me to do a full video just on shipping, let me know in the comments, and then I'll do a video next time on that. So once you have those details added, you're going to go to the bottom where it says promoted listings. Now this is very important. This is what I recommend. I'm not saying it's the best thing to do, but this is what I recommend just because I've been doing it for the past 3.5 years, and 60% of my sales come from promoting my listings. If I weren't promoting my listings, I would be missing out on a lot of money. There's going to be a tab that says promote listings, and once you do that, you're going to see some percentages. eBay will always suggest you a super high percentage, like about like a 10%, a 12%. Never do that one. It's way too high, and honestly, it doesn't really make a big difference. All it does is that eBay takes more of your profits, so you want to avoid that. What you want to do is you want to add your own percentage. I promote all of my items at 4%, but if you're just starting out, I highly recommend that you do a 2% or a 3%, and that will get you going. Once you do that, all you got to do is scroll to the bottom and hit that big blue button that says list item, and once you do that, you just wait for that item to sell, and once it does, you just pack it up, take it to the post office, and then you just wait for eBay to pay you. I know everything sounds pretty simple, and honestly, that is because it is very simple to get it started. It's not going to be easy, but it is very simple, and it's going to require a lot of work from you to just get it started and get it going to the point where you're making sales daily. If you really want this business to work, you have to be consistent with it, meaning you got to list at least one item a day. So if you go out sourcing, 1 day or 2 days a week, and you find 7 items, don't just post 7 items in 1 day. Spread them out and post 1 item a day, because being consistent on eBay is like one of the main things that they look. If you're really serious about this side hustle, or maybe potentially going full-time 1 day, then you gotta treat it like a real business. Hope this video helped you guys, and I really encourage you guys to get started resale on eBay, because Q4 is coming up, and those are the months where we make the most money as resellers. So this is the perfect time to get started. If you have any questions, just drop it in the comments below, and I will do a separate video going into more details on how you guys can increase the chances of making more sales. With that being said, make sure you hit that like button, and if you already haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, because I will be posting a new video every Wednesday. Really quick, if you guys don't already follow me on TikTok, this is my account right here, Hustle Resell, and also on Instagram at JohnnyBiz. I will also link those in the description. I'll see you guys in the next one.